Welcome to Grawlix Nights, the Grawlix Podcast live show. Although we're talking Doctor Who, so it could probably just be Grawlix Podcast. I'm Randy.
I'm Melanie.
And I'm Jesse.
Hey, and two of the three of us are sick, and the other one is Melanie.
You're in for a treat.
That got a better reaction from Melanie just before the stream.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It was lame. Maybe it's a joke I should have kept in private. Yeah, so it's going to be an interesting energy, but we had to stream. I mean, we did debate for an hour before if we were going to stream,
Basically,
but we
yeah.
had to. We had to. We've been gearing up for this discussion for at least a year.
Right.
So we're going to be talking about the Doctor Who. Is it the first part or first episode? I don't know what you'd call it, of the 60th anniversary miniseries.
So on Disney Plus, they call it Special One.
Okay. The Star Beast.
Yes.
The Beast from Beyond the Stars. Yeah.
And that's all we're talking about. So.
That's all we're talking about. We're not talking about Loki, which Melanie and I just finished, finally.
Oh, no. You should not have said that out loud.
No,
Man.
we're not
Oh,
going to talk
boy.
about it. We'll talk
That's
about it
good
in the future.
because, if we get into that.
Yeah. We're not. And I'm not going to do anything amazing today either. Sorry,
There's
guys.
nothing amazing except
We're
for
just
Doctor
whoing it
Who.
in. Yep. They're sick. They need a doctor. Let's get into the doctor.
Yeah. We need a doctor and a higher bit rate. That's what we need.
That's right.
Okay, I'm going to click away from that tab. I don't need to push any more video buttons. We lost our viewer. Yeah, okay, so Doctor Who, The Star Beast on Disney Plus, which is an experience on its own. 10 is back, but not really. It's 14. Tennant is
But
back.
is it?
He was very 10.
Yeah.
He was very 10.
Yeah.
We watched it, I don't know, Monday or Sunday, and I had hit play, and then I was like, wait, Melanie, have you watched that Children in Need thing yet? And she's like, what's that? And I was like, okay, well, we got to watch that first, because that's kind of, I believe it's canon,
Yeah.
and it's kind of technically the first, like, Beyond the Regeneration, the first appearance of 14, being very 14-like, or being very 10-like, I should say.
And him, like, still being, he's Wonkadoo after he regenerates.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Yeah.
like, this is as much Wonkadoo, I think, as we're going to get.
Right. That's always, I mean, sometimes they stretch that out for too long, it'll stretch out for a couple episodes, but nope, this one, it was Children in Need special. We ain't got time for extended wonk.
It took
Yeah.
the 12th Doctor an entire season to figure out that he was like, oh, wait, maybe I can hug a person.
Right. Right. Maybe I like living creatures. Yeah. I mean, it's just kind of, this episode doesn't waste time. It's really right into it.
Yeah. So, yeah, they jump right into 14 is 14. And 14 is basically like fully formed because we don't get any of that Wonkadoo. And this made me actually mad. I wasted my time on this today. There was a Screen Rant article that was like, Donna nails the one difference between 10 and 14. And I was like, oh, maybe I missed something. I got to read this. And it's one of those that just basically like rehashes everything that's ever happened kind of thing, or kind of rehashes the episode and whatnot. And then you just keep scrolling and you keep scrolling and you keep scrolling. And I'm like, heaven help me. Heaven help me. Like, I'm starting to figure out what she's going to say, and it's going to be such a stupid throwaway line. And it's basically that moment when she sees him but doesn't recognize him, and basically comments on the fact that he's older.
Oh,
The difference between 10 and 14 is David Tennant is older. And then you scroll a little further into the article, which I was just like, is this article's got to be done, right? So I scroll to the bottom. It's like, why is the 14th Doctor older than the 10th Doctor? And I'm like, I am done with you, Internet.
Yeah.
Screen Rant strikes again, because they got me on an article. They're milking this episode with just nonsense, nothing articles. Worse than usual. Worse than the general, like, crap clickbait titles that websites do. Also Screen Rant. I clicked an article and it was something about, like, they set up the... I guess they set up the Rose daughter character way back during the original, run. Hey, Turner, it's metal in your lungs. You know what? YouTube has finally stopped. Well, I guess not, because Turner's commenting this from YouTube, but YouTube has finally stopped accosting me with those anti-vaping ads. Although now that I've said it out loud, it's going to start it again.
Yeah.
Google heard me. Only surrounded by Google devices, listening probably at all times. But it was... They brilliantly set up the Rose daughter thing, 15 years prior. And it's the same exact thing. Scrolling through just recap of the... Nothing. It's just like, yeah, I know. We literally just watched all these episodes. You're not telling me anything interesting. And it was the binary thing. And I'm like, they even said something like, it was a genius setup, whatever. If they meant to do it or not, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, they didn't. Okay. I guarantee that was that was, and it really irritated me because that was a moment in the episode that I was like, because, like, that's not something they set up 15 years ago. That's something that RTD or whoever thought was very happy with himself when he thought of this retro, like, active, like, let's work this in. But that was it. It was like the whole thing of, like, they set it up, this genius thing, and then it's like, they didn't intend that.
And I didn't even get it. Personally, but Randy had to explain it to me because I didn't know what they were what it was about.
Okay, since we're on this, now I've got a beef that I just realized I have. And that is, so the whole Rose thing, like, it's supposed to mean something because it's like, it's a nod to Rose and how Donna interacted with Rose, and it's just like her memory of the Doctor bleeding through. But that's not how dead names work.
Yeah.
Like, when you
Oh.
transition, you choose your own name. So that doesn't hold.
Well, no, that's they kind of did explain that in that Rose did choose her own name, and she chose Rose, and that's supposed to be some weird connection because she also has all these other memories. She made the dolls that were the ood and all that.
Right.
They kind of tied that in.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about the dolls.
Yeah.
Because as a Time Lord, you know everything. Spoilers.
Well-
Boy, we just jumped into that.
We are gonna go. By the way, we are gonna go, and I don't know when. We're going full spoilers on this episode. So if you haven't seen it yet and you don't want to be spoiled, because
Yeah, Paul. Sorry.
I like.
And hello,
Paul knows.
Paul.
Hey, Paul, what's going on? It's good to see you here.
He's ready for some salt. He needs some more sodium in his life.
I don't have. Well, see, that's the thing. The main salt I have is directly related to what would be the biggest spoiler. Yeah, Paul knows. He's seen it. Spoilers in the chat.
So that Randy had beef with that. I didn't get it, so whatever. But other than that, it was an okay episode. And we have to get to the thing. The greatest villain ever. I was so happy when the bad guy became the bad guy. I was like, yes! Because, come on, he's so cute.
Oh, yeah.
So, Jesse, I guarantee Jesse knows more about this character than I do. I didn't realize I only know this through internet things, and I'm sure you said something, but that's an existing character from
The
that
comics,
originated in
yeah.
the comics
Yep.
way back when, and I kind of knew that that character was a villain or something,
Right.
and
He's
so
Beep the Meep.
right. So that turn wasn't completely surprising to me just because of like, there was not intentional spoilers, but there's spoilers on it online for that because it's an existing character. But also like maybe they weren't going to do that. They made the Meep very cute.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it.
It
But I
and
also did enjoy
Did they say is like pseudo practical effects kind of thing too? I was hearing rumor of that like it seems like everything used to be CGI for a while, right? And then they kind of realized like Grogu is a good mix of both, right? And so I feel like that they did the same thing with Beep the Meep, and it's like a good mix of two things, like it's both practical and CGI'd, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it definitely is because it's definitely a person in a suit, and I'm really hoping especially once once they revealed their like villainous side. I'm really hoping most of the face is animatronic because the face that they gave it was great.
It changes and it's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, but the eyes blink and stuff, and that's got to be digital. The way the eyes blink, because you can kind of tell when they make a. It didn't look bad, but you kind of tell when it's otherwise this very stationary like puppet type thing, but it's blinking, and you're like, nah, that's not an animatronic blink.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Well, and obviously some of the lighting effects and whatnot with the eyes to make the eyes look more
right?
real,
More lifelike,
or less real. I don't know, more alien.
right? Yeah, I liked
So-
it. I liked the story. Oh, go
I
ahead.
was to say, while we're on this bit, we could just kind of jump into that Disney money was well spent.
Ooh, it looked good. It had
Yeah.
the lighting, man. It has an interesting look, but it's definitely like, yeah, I like it. It looked good. It was also a very dark, like, I guess most of it took place during like one night, right? But like dark sets, lots of night shoots. Like it was a lot of kind of dark stuff, but that also kind of leaned into interesting lighting and stuff.
It was also like well spent, but like not in gaudy, grandiose ways either. Like you could tell they spent obviously a decent amount of money on the interior of the TARDIS, but not in a way that's just like, good. It's not like Eighth Doctor movie TARDIS kind of like,
Right.
oh no, like it just feels like, oh, this is a really good TARDIS set and it's lit so we can see everything. Like
And I'm glad they had him running around because I feel like you don't really capture the scope of it just like in the panning around. But the fact that you see him run and he gets real small before he runs back around and it's like, oh no, that's huge.
yeah.
It reminded me a lot of, or more so than any of the recent ones, of the old TARDIS.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. Well, it was
round
a
things.
cool, It was a cool blend of like a classic, like I don't know, like pre-wooden TARDIS console room, plus it was giving me 10th Doctor vibes. Like the central column was like, oh, this is kind of a throwback to both, in a good way. It's like,
Yeah, it was-
what if the brass console was not brass?
Yeah, because his was like a weird junkyard steampunk type thing, right? And this one is like super clean and slick. But if you look at the controls, there's weird junkyard steampunk junk embedded in this super slick,
Right.
nice. Yeah, it's interesting.
Paul
It's-
says
it
the
is-
coffee machine was a bit much, yeah, but also it became a plot device. And I'll take it over having to hit something with a rubber mallet and it makes a ding noise, I'll take it.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Okay, I'm not leaving. I'm just occasionally I'll bounce out to.
with his
Sounds
audio
like the blow.
clipping too. It's just gonna cut like that. Like I'm gonna randomly bounce out once in a while, and also that's gonna be mid sentence. So there you go.
Was it?
It was it.
I
cut
timed
off
it-
the end of your word. Like I'm gonna
Oh.
randomly bounce
Oh,
out.
that-
and it was like chunk. Probably the delay.
That's interesting. Yeah, it must be the delay. It's interesting that like I clicked to remove or whatever. That's not on a delay, but the actual video is on a delay. That's okay.
Oh yeah.
Good to know. Yeah, I like the console room. I like the TARDIS a lot. Something Paul had said. Must have been Saturday. I don't know. It was just after it aired, and he said, "You know, what did he say? Hold on. You know what the problem with bringing 10 back to Who?" And at that point, I hadn't watched the new episode, so I was just like,
Oh,
"Nope,
yeah.
haven't watched yet." Just just in case he was thinking about giving me spoilers.
Right.
He didn't. He just said that that it makes you want more 10. And yeah, we're only gonna get 3 episodes, maybe. I don't know. There's speculation, like it's probably all Screen Rant speculating about every possible spin-off that there could be. You know,
I like that they.
I think- Jesse, were you talking?
I can't
Oh,
hear
your
you.
volume like dipped super low.
Yeah.
Is it?
Uh.
What were you gonna say, Melanie?
I like that they mentioned Wilf. You know, explained him his absence. And I just also want to say I think Sylvia, is that the mom's name?
I think so.
This is like she was the least annoying in this one ever. Donna's mom.
Yeah. No, she was, but she was also ridiculous because screaming, it's
Yeah.
not real. That no, there's nothing there. It's not real when she's looking directly at things. I feel like
Yeah.
would make the situation far more scarier. Where it's like, wait, what is going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you back, Jesse?
Nope.
It's weird because like you're so low, but I can kind of hear you a little bit, so you're not totally gone. What's your mic settings looking like?
Bring me back in.
I heard
Sure.
a little bit of that.
Yeah, I turned his mic volume all the way up in here in these settings, but that's as loud as it's gonna get. Yeah, try that.
I got from sorry, I'm just continuing on. The bad guys, or I guess the good guys. At first it was 2 sets of bad guys to my knowledge, you know.
Right.
I totally was like, this is like A Bug's Life. Those are totally the grasshoppers coming after people. The ones that ended up being good guys, and I appreciated that. I
They
liked
were
the-
very
I liked the Bugs Life
cartoony
characters.
looking bug creatures.
Yeah.
Is it Melanie? Are you thumping?
No,
Okay. What is happening?
I don't hear thumping either. Nope.
Can you hear me?
Don't.
Can't hear Jesse.
Can't hear me, huh?
Nope. I can read your lips though. If we knew only we knew sign language.
Jiggle every character.
How's that?
Jiggle.
Is that back?
Not really. It's weird. So I was actually kind of surprised not to see Wilf because I know they recorded some stuff with Wilf. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming next episode maybe we'll get to see him just a little bit. I mean, he was very old, and he passed shortly after that.
Well, they were on their way to visit him, weren't they? When they
Yeah, at the end.
whatever.
Yeah, when Donna spilled her coffee.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Yes, there's footage of him.
That's a little better.
Oh my. Yes, he's my favorite of the Noble family, including the daughter. Although I actually the husband was pretty cool. He seemed like a nice guy.
Right, and pretty laid back. And I like the joke of like, he, he's not going to be jealous of the doctor at all, or of the situation of Donna, like whatever, going into the
Yeah.
TARDIS with the doctor. Paul said, I don't think they have to do that because they filmed stuff with Wilf. So I'm assuming we'll see him next episode. But Paul said, I'm generally opposed to CGI characters, but I would be okay with CGI Wilf before Dr. Donna is done. I mean, Disney's giving them money. I don't know if they're giving them Star Wars resurrecting actors money.
No CGI James Dean yet.
CGI James Dean, yeah. Man, what happened here?
Oh yeah. Paul said, but wait, wasn't there an article they had to put a wheelchair ramp on the TARDIS, so it might not be CG. They should have one on the TARDIS anyway because the show is super PC.
Right. No, I'm telling you, they filmed. They filmed him. He was in a wheelchair.
There's
Yes.
there's probably a delay on the chat too.
All right.
What was it? I liked whatever the diseases that the Meep had too. That was cool. It's a cool name.
What disease? Oh, the weird psychedelic
Yeah.
sun, the thing, or whatever it was.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's like
He
Okay.
basically had the color out of space.
Oh, there
Yeah,
you are.
there you go.
Wow. What'd you do? And can you turn it down slightly now?
Yeah. Yeah, let me try.
You're real hot now. Okay, I'm curious. Yeah, we must be on a hell of a delay.
Yeah. Well, I'm always on a delay, so
No, I know. I hear you about a second before you come through the headphones.
I hear
Very
you
strange.
several seconds before you come through my headphones.
Is that better?
Hey, that's better.
Is that better? Okay.
Yeah, I can turn you down a little bit here in the back and talk.
Oh
at
yeah,
me.
because you probably like
I had you turned
way
up.
didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you still sounded like that would make you loud, but like you sounded like hot mic, So
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
sounds better now though.
Sorry.
Oh.
I'm laughing.
Meep just gave everyone a bad trip. I enjoyed the pronoun bit with Meep where he's like,
Yes, that was good. Of all the
My preferred
wokeness,
no-
that was good.
my preferred pronoun is the definite
It's definitive.
the definitive
Definitive.
article, the Meep, and I like that a lot.
Right.
I identify as a definitive article. The definitive article.
The Randy. Well, they used to do that. The doctor, the master, the whoever.
The Ronnie.
The Ronnie,
Yeah.
which is clearly just like a name, but they're like, nope, the.
Nope. The Ronnie. And then the Valyard.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of makes sense with like talk about non-binary, like it kind of makes sense with Time Lords. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
no.
Omega. He doesn't even have a the. It's just Omega.
Yeah.
Yep. What was I gonna say? So Jesse, what do you think? Wolf gonna make an appearance next episode? I know they
I
filmed
don't know.
something with him.
Probably
Maybe
not next episode, or if so, just at the very end.
Oh, they're
Otherwise,
probably
I'm
gonna have a
thinking they'll
Dr.
save him
Donna
for the-
adventure.
Yeah, and I'm thinking they'll save him
Right.
for the final special when they're back in London.
Yeah, and they know everybody loves him.
That makes
And I want to
sense.
say the still photos or the set photos showed Wilf kind of like on the street in his wheelchair.
Yeah, yeah.
So not on a spaceship.
That's that was something that popped in my head when we were having those technical issues. There was that moment where the doctor thought Wolf was dead, which is extra sad now, but that was good. Also, Tenet is great. It's good to get like he gets to do some range, and it's interesting because they are making him not that he wasn't an emotional doctor before, but I guess apparently a more affectionate doctor because he makes a point of like, you know, he said he loves Donna or whatever, and he's like, oh, I guess I say that now, which is also kind of a jab at like him not saying that to Rose, and that was the whole like he couldn't say it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
so
Oh, we'll get there, Paul.
yeah, I'll throw it up on
Or maybe we won't. I don't know.
I'll throw it up on. Yeah, I'm kind of like, I mean, we could dive more into that whole thing, but I kind of want to like get through like the stuff I really enjoyed.
Oh, sure.
But getting towards Donna's great. Yeah, I did like even her mom, who is generally like kind of not despicable, but she's not a good person, especially to
Right.
Donna, and they even play on that in
Yeah.
this. But it was good to even seeing her in here. Like, that's great. Rose as a character seemed fine. I
Yeah.
liked her
Generally,
well
I
enough.
liked how they dealt with it as just like a story beat and let you understand the rest. Like when the kids are dead naming Rose, that kind of thing. Like that's really the most backstory exposition that you kind of got, other than I think Sylvia kind of says that she slips up once in a while because that's what old
I did
people
not-
do.
I did not notice any of that. I did not know what was going on. Randy was like, ugh, and I'm like, what? Why? What's going on? What's happening? I had no clue.
I will give context to my because it's not just because there's a trans character. So yeah, Rose is a trans person. Well, the actress actresses don't like being
Everybody's
called
necking now.
actresses anymore. But
Nope.
if you identify as female, do you then have a preference?
I don't know. I think if you use actors
had never occurred to
as
me.
a neutral, then it probably doesn't matter.
Okay. Well, anyway, trans actor, trans character was not apparent to Melanie, and she didn't. I knew before because I read the
Right.
news articles and stuff. But so yeah, like that conversation that Donna and her mom had in the kitchen flew above, must have flown past Melanie's head. But that was what, yeah, the mom was like, I don't want to say the wrong thing. Do I say she's gorgeous? Like, and then yeah, there was that little bit, and they didn't hit it too hard. I do want to say before
Right.
I sound like Paul says, "Oh, don't get canceled on my behalf." I actually like, and I'm sure this is not his motivation. His motivation is to be inclusive, but it also feels a little bit like RTD doubling down, just to like say, no. I watched all the crap that went down throughout
Right.
Whitaker's Doctor run. We're doubling down. Screw you guys. That's what it
Right,
felt
right.
like. A
We're
little
not
bit.
rolling anything back, yeah.
Hey Jasper, what's going on? Yeah, but I liked it. I liked that he doubled down on that. Like I was totally fine with that. And yeah, it it addressed it, but obviously Melanie didn't realize that was the deal with the character, and it flew past her head. So they didn't like slam it home.
It's not
Until-
like they were. It's not like they went all Ryan on it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't ham-fisted, is what I mean.
Right.
Not maybe a little bit towards maybe a little bit towards the end.
I can't ride a
Ham-fisted.
bike, but I can run and climb ladders just fine.
Climb ladders. That's fine.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Chibnall did not. Everything was ham-fisted during the.
I'm
Chibnall era.
gonna make this character this obscure thing that most people don't know or understand, but I'll do it poorly.
I like as we said, or as I said anyway, when we talked, because we just spent the better part of a year rewatching through all of the Dr. Donna previous stuff. 100% he doubled down. Ryan, let that happen.
Ryan.
I'm not wild about Dr. Donna when she's acting like Dr. Donna. I'm not wild about Donna when she's in Dr. Donna mode. And we do get that. And that's fine. But I like that whole scene. It's great. I like that she starts like referring to the doctor as the doctor, and also saying like, because that's what the doctor would do before she even realized like who the doctor was again.
Right.
I love that. They could have stretched that out for 3 episodes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you know what
Right, yeah.
You know what the best part of the whole thing was when the cracks in the ground sealed themselves up at the end. What was that?
You're ready to dive right into the salt
Oh,
mines.
she's ready. She's ready for the salt. Yeah.
It was
Okay.
so stupid, so ridiculous.
Oh, okay. I don't know if this is going to fall into the salt category or not, but since we're talking about kind of the wokeisms and whatnot, I did really like the unit director or whatever her role was in the wheelchair. Like she was really cool, and she just like rolls up on Tenet and is just like, "What you doing back here?"
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like the time would be that you'd be right up in it, kind of thing.
What? So what happened to Kate?
Oh, she's still there. She's still, because she's gonna
Okay.
play a part in, I think, the third
The spinoff,
special.
right?
Yeah, we've seen her
Oh,
in
okay,
the trailer,
okay.
even.
Right,
So-
right.
She's not a field agent.
Right.
Oh yeah, we're getting more classic companion cameos too, aren't we?
Yes, we're gonna
Believe.
get Bonnie Langford once we
Yeah.
got 15. So
Wow, interesting. So they kind of like
I even got and I'm sure this is just a rumor. This can't be true, but they were saying that in the next episode, potentially, Tennant's gonna have like flashbacks or something, and Peter Capaldi and Matt Smith are gonna be involved. And this is a
that'd be
60th
super
anniversary.
interesting.
Yeah,
That'd be
And they're gonna
super
play,
interesting
like,
because
dark villainous versions of their doctors. And they can both play villains really well. So like now I'm kind of like, oh, I'd like to see that, because Peter Capaldi, when he's got his teeth, is just wonderful.
Capaldi seems very adamant that he's not doing more Doctor Who stuff.
Right.
Of course, they all are. Capaldi, you just stick around long enough, they'll get you. If anything, Big Finish will get you.
And also, this sounds like a hallucination more than a multi-doctor cameo.
Right, right.
Evil eyebrows. Scottish evil eyebrows. Oh.
Man, yeah, I don't want to nail on it. The budget. I just want to mention again real quick. It is well spent, because you can tell it's kind of limited in the sets, like how many locations they were actually at. It wasn't like a bunch of unnecessary locations. There was a bunch in the house, in a generic factory-looking place where it's the big spaceship climax and part of the earlier story when he first comes across the unit lady, and then just general street. But it all looked good. But that's like a telltale sign of like limited locations is usually like keeping the budget down.
I do have a beef
let's
with
get
that.
in-
I do have one salty bit. Are we getting into the salt now? Because I can
Yeah, let's
piggyback
do it.
what you just said. Okay, so the only problem I have with the way that they spent the money was, and the only time that I felt like it was superfluous or like flexing, like, hey, look at how good we look today, is when was it? I guess it was when the Meep. I mean, so I think we've kind of alluded already that the Meep is the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
Like they're hunting for the Meep, but the Meep is actually the bad guy, and that's why they're hunting for the Meep. Well, when the Meep, like, hits them with the ray or whatever, the ship hits them with the ray or whatever, they get the color out of Space Eyes. That was the only thing where they did like a special effect where it's like, oh come on, now you're just flexing. When they would be like, beep, beep, just so you could see the color out of Space Eyes.
Right. No, it's just like, the only reason those visors exist on that helmet is to save your budget.
Yeah.
Put them down, leave them down. You don't need to
Right.
put them back up just to do the money shot, so to speak. But
Credit where it's due. It looked good, but the whole like the dynamic of that in the scene was just like, oh come on. Like,
Right,
I
right.
I was like,
I thought
I have
the little-
sunglasses just so I can take them off.
I thought the TVA doors that they put up around the stairs was a little excessive too, or like the amount of time he spent setting that up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was another thing that was just like, oh, come on. The most, like, RTD is the worst at making the sonic screwdriver OP already, and then he went and gave it 2 new abilities.
yeah, no, I I thought about that too, because like his run was like notorious like for just falling back on the sonic screwdriver for everything, and it could do all these things, and he like went even harder this time. Like, oh no, yeah, you could just make a shield, a couple of shields, and slide them out so you could just walk past.
And how are those powered? Come on. Just once I want the sonic screwdriver to be like, nope, you forgot to charge it overnight. 20%. We can't
Yeah,
do a
yeah.
shield.
Right.
How long would
When the
those
story
shields stay
demands-
up?
You know what? That would actually be the reasoning when the story demands that they don't have a shield that works,
Oh, yeah.
because
Oh,
it's all
forgot to
about
charge it.
what's convenient for the story. Yeah.
Right.
So Salt, the climax, it's been 15 years. The Dr. Donna, how are they going to remedy Dr. Donna? I thought for a moment they killed Donna, and I was like, wow, that's bold.
Awesome.
Right. Well, I mean, kind of in a way.
hardcore.
It's yeah. No, which
He
is
had
fine
said,
that they
too,
didn't.
That this is not for kids. Like he'd even like prefaced it and threw it out there. It's like, all right, parents, be careful because this is these are gonna be dark, and they're maybe not for kids. So maybe there is some death. Maybe there's something.
No, he was like, I don't want them to think that their cute little toys are going to be scary, but they already
Right.
think that. Come on.
I mean, that's like the whole thing with Doctor Who, right?
Yeah.
As they say over there about it makes you hide behind the couch or something. It's a very.
I really didn't think
British
this was that
thing.
dark.
No, I mean visually it was kind of dark, but it was a nighttime thing. No, I mean Doctor Who generally gets darker. Like even thematically, this wasn't that dark. I guess maybe the cat being super cute, or Meep being super cute, and then super creepy
Well,
looking.
it was creepy. Yeah. That was one of my pluses, though.
I love that meme that you sent us. By the
Oh
way,
yes, yeah. Of Donna pointing, and then the Meep is the cat.
If I can
Perfect.
hold on, I'll pull that up in a window real quick. It is perfect. Share screen. Is it that? Nope. That's it. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. Oh,
Jasper.
Jasper. Yeah.
Start with New Who.
Yeah. Really,
Start with
anywhere
9.
you want.
Yeah, it's true. If there's a new
That's the
doctor,
thing. Yeah.
that's usually like an onboarding point. It's like comics, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you should start with 9 because otherwise you'll miss out on some great stuff like that. The Moisturize Me lady. There's just things that you have to see because you'll get more references if you do. And then after that, then you can go crazy and watch all of them like Randy did.
Well, that's what I mean. Is like you just got to find wherever you're going to get hooked because then you'll go back.
Yeah.
You'll go to 9 because you'll need to know.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know what would appeal most to you, Jasper, specifically, but I know a lot of people recommend like Blink, but that's such a that's a weird onboarding point for Doctor Who because it's such a Doctor Light episode.
I used to say Blink, but really I don't think it's a good one because it's not indicative of the series as a whole.
Yeah.
Randy, the one that I got Randy was the little gas mask boy, whatever that episode was.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the doc.
Meet.
Doctor dances,
Yeah.
and it was a 2-parter.
Empty Children and
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Empty Child. Yeah. Family of Blood would be a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Well, no, because the whole time he's not the Doctor. Also, that's another weird one. But it's
Yeah,
so good. So
I wouldn't-
good.
I feel like that one, if you don't have a feel for who 10 is, that's not a good one because that's part of the appeal of that one. Beyond the end of that story, which is I think what hooks a lot of people is just like it's also kind of on Doctor like what he does.
Right. Also, fun fact, that's another adaptation. The Star Beast was an adaptation of a comic, and the Family of Blood is a novel adaptation. So
It's pretty cool.
RTD
RTD
likes-
pulling in like extended media.
yeah,
It's pretty cool. Well, that's not going to work for you, Jasper, with Doctor
yeah,
Who.
no, yeah, don't do that.
First off, you can't do that, and I'm not sure that you can do that even legally now. I don't know that the first episodes are anywhere streaming anymore because of rights issues. But
And they'll
You
get
don't wanna
into,
do that,
they get
though.
into that. You know, like they'll talk about the origin enough that you don't have to go that far
Right.
back. Although I do love me some Hartnell.
you know, it's tough because like the beginning of Moffat's run when 11 came on, that's a great starting point. But I feel like that first episode is hit or miss. Like the timey-wimey Amy Pond stuff isn't bad, but then like the actual monster of the episode's kind of lame.
Oh yeah.
But it's more occupied with like establishing the new Doctor.
You know what I'd say?
Maybe something like
If
the
you can
Satan
get
Pit.
through, if you want that old timey vibe, do Adventures in Time and Space with the David Bradley pick about William Hartnell.
Oh, about the like making of the original show.
Yeah, I would do that because it's got that modern vibe, but it's about the classic era and how the show actually started. And then you get a little nod to the future, which have you heard about what they did? To
Yeah.
Adventures in Time and Space. Yeah. Cause I got a little bit of a thing. And it's like, you know, I don't have a problem with that. The only problem I have with it is that they didn't do it for all the modern doctors after.
Well, it kind of
know?
that was my thought. I was like, "Oh, that's interesting," and like, what a nice surprise! What a like cool surprise. Except, he doesn't care. I'm sure. Matt Smith. It kind of feels like Matt Smith gets the shaft because he was in that movie, and now he's
Right.
not. You know.
Yeah, that was my only thing was like, oh, that does kind of like make it less special for him now. And if they were going to do it that way, then I'd rather they just like kept updating it, like whatever version is streaming has that version's Doctor, you know?
They just do a super cut where now that scene just takes 20 minutes and it's them digitally like inserting a doctor after a doctor and like he leaves and then here comes another doctor.
I'm just going home the long way around.
right. Okay, so let's get to some salt and vinegar
Yeah.
properly. As Melanie said, and it's all for me, it all stems from the climax and how, like the Dr. Donna resolution, as well as like the resolution of this episode. The the trouble I knew. I was like, oh yeah, we're back in RTD land. We have a love hate with all of even the best of the showrunners, where like there's huge cracks through the city, but then they heal up somehow. What?
Yeah.
That doesn't even.
yeah.
There's no. That's Dr. Dobby territory. That doesn't
Right.
make any sense.
Dr. Dobby.
Paul says,
Oh man, that's the worst. The master. I'm gonna turn you into the oldest version of the Doctor, a shriveled little raisin man.
"Man, Paul says 9's last and 10's first episode would be a good jumping in point." Jasper says yes to. Okay, kind of, I guess, but the problem with the end of like 9's last is that's like you're getting the reveal of the whole Bad Wolf thing before you know what any of the Bad Wolf stuff is. And then the first 10 is that Christmas special where 10 is like not
He's
really
out of
with
commission the entire time, and the
Yeah.
Christmas tree tries to kill people, and yeah.
I think that 9 is. I think just start from the beginning of the new stuff because 9 is normal enough that you're not weirded out, but he's bipolar enough that you still get a feel for the Doctor. That's my opinion.
Yeah, my only beef with starting with 9 is some of those episodes are a little rough. Some of the like the stupid fart aliens, I hate that. I hate those creatures.
Well,
And
I
they
think
showed
the
up in the
fat-
Sarah Jane Adventures a
not
bunch.
fat. The plastic people, like the first episode or something.
That's
Maybe.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Autons are they're legit.
The first couple episodes are yeah, no, you're right. That's not a bad onboarding point. First couple
I just like
episodes
the
are pretty
Ninth
good.
Doctor. I like the Ninth Doctor. I like how you never know what you're gonna get. He's kind of like the Fourth Doctor. Him and the Fourth Doctor both give me that. These guys are nuts vibes, and I love that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
They do have kind of a similar dynamic.
He is like that unsettling, like the Fourth Doctor. That like on, yeah, I don't think would be particularly fun to spend a lot of time around with because you don't know when he's gonna flip. But the Ninth Doctor, and it's interesting that maybe it's because I know this backstory of the character or whatever, but he has that like could flip any moment that of a like ex-army of a war veteran, somebody who's like
Yeah.
seen some stuff and that puts him on edge. Whereas the Fourth Doctor is just like crazy. You're like, I don't know why
Yeah.
he's like this, but he is. I'm not sure which is scarier.
Yeah.
Okay. The Doctor I know I keep dancing around it. So Donna dies, but not really. She's just wakes up again. I'm fine with the Metacrisis situation resolving itself because she had a child and that like split the Time Lordness between them so that now they can handle it.
It makes at least as much sense as a freaking hand. So yeah.
And I'm fine if they want to like thematically tie it into Rose being trans, even though that's kind of weird. But okay, that's fine. Here, the only area around that I did not like was the binary, non-binary. When they cut to the non-binary, I was like, oh, that's so cheesy. Like I get what they're going for.
Yeah.
But that is
Everything else was so subtle, and then that had to be just not just on the nose, but smashed in the nose.
and I can't tell if I'm assuming it was RTD, whoever wrote it, if they were super like proud of themselves or if they had a chuckle. I don't know, and they probably wouldn't admit to the second one if that was the case. But I just was like, oh, I get it, but like it's I don't know, whatever. Something about it, I didn't like that. Otherwise, everything else around that is fine. Except the whole like then they have to be sexist about it because you're a man, you can't figure this out
Right, yeah.
because anyone so they just like, so they're fine suddenly. They're super smart, and they're like, well, how do you fix it? And it's like, well, something, that a presenting male wouldn't understand. You just let it go. And it's like, really? We're just going to do that, like, baseline men are stubborn jokes? Like, that sounds so, and now I'm going to sound like, that irritates me because it makes me feel like I have to defend myself so I don't sound like one of those Doctor Who fans.
Right.
Yeah. It's like you just can't let it go. No, I'm just kidding.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Oh man.
But it's also like not sexist because it's presenting male. So like you can let it go if you're not presenting male.
Women
that
can't
bug-
let
I don't-
stuff
I don't
go
get it.
so much that they store men's DNA in their brains. So how's that go?
You're right.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was so cheesy, but so I was like, oh, it's got to be something. But then, it's still somehow more measured than some of the RTD like grand ridiculous specials we've got in the past, so it's fine. It's fine.
Well, and then they also like the other bit that I don't understand and was irritated about, and I even talked about this before we started, is that the Metacrisis Dawn of Dr. Power or whatever, all that intelligence was now split because a human can't handle it with its one heart, but if you split it over two humans with two hearts now, because I'm a doctor, I'm a Time Lord, two hearts, now you're safe. And so you're safe, and you have all this intelligence, and you're the equal of the Doctor, at least the two of you combined are, right? So now you just give it away. You're safe. There's no reason to let it go, but you do.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse, as a presenting
I'm a-
male,
I'm a
you'll never
presenting
understand.
male. I
And
won't
neither will I.
understand. I won't understand it. She loves it. You could see how much she loves it. She Catherine Tates it up.
I get that, like, it is a joke a bit, but it just didn't land for me. And I'm like, I get that it's like, I guess punching up,
Oh yeah.
you present you cis male, right? But
Yeah.
it's a lame joke. Come on, man. Like, this is the climax. Like, this is what we've been waiting to see how they like wrap this thing up for so long.
Did you like
Hey,
Did you like the psychic paper bit? Like that one was kind of that's funny. Like,
Yeah, I like that.
Ketchup. That was
Right.
funny.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't mind the gender stuff at all. I guess I was just I got no more words to say. Apparently I do mind some of the gender stuff because I just like ranted about that stupid joke, but
But the thing, I don't think it's not about the gender stuff. It's about the way that they go about it. It's like the what was that movie? The Endgame thing and all the chicks lining up. It's just so shoved in there in an unnatural or not. I guess maybe
It was
unnatural
cringy. Yeah, it was
way.
cringy.
That's what it's about. Savannah did something weird, but that's not abnormal.
Savannah, we're here talking about Doctor Who. Have you watched the new special yet with Tennant and Donna? This is like prime Savannah Doctor Who watching time period characters. She's on about Oppenheimer and Kissinger.
I didn't know Kissinger was still alive until yesterday.
And yesterday
He's
he was
100
no
years
longer
old.
alive.
Right? I know.
Okay, well we just got done with spoiler discussion, so we'll curtail the spoiler discussion. I don't have too much other stuff to say about it. Plus we're about on an hour, so
Yeah.
all that aside though, I really liked it. Savannah, I think you'll like it quite a bit.
Yeah.
I
like-
yeah.
I like the little bit of sort of ET vibes. The beginning was also very good. Maybe they just ran out of time or money or something, and that's why the end sucked so hard. I don't know.
Oh, no, it's all in the right. That's just writing. That's just RTD wrapping up you know,
throwing his bit
make it
into the comic thing. Like the comic thing, that story already existed, but I've got to wrap up the Meta Crisis stuff. So boom.
he was never really good about. He likes a happy ending, and he'll even if that happy ending doesn't make sense or is super cheesy, that's what he's gonna do. He don't care. He's RTD.
That's right.
And that's okay because he stuck the landing for 90% of the episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I am excited to see more.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
I'm not.
Who is David Krumholtz? I'm not sure. I'm not aware who that is, but Savannah talked to him on the internet.
Told him he should play Kissinger if Kissinger's in a movie, and then Kissinger died.
Oh no.
Well, especially if. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, Savannah. That is weird.
That's bad timing. That didn't have,
Oh, okay.
wouldn't have
He was
normally
in-
been awkward,
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, so when's the next one air?
This Saturday, right? It's Saturday.
Saturday?
Yep. We get 3 in a row.
I'm
last
excited.
night
Saturday,
read. So
Saturday.
yeah, Sunday.
I given Disney money again so I could watch Doctor Who. I didn't even
And
do that
Loki.
for Loki season 2.
That's true, you
It's
did. That's
Loki season 2 is a happy plus. I might have went to a friend's house to watch the other episodes of Loki season 2 that we discussed. But now that I don't have to go to a friend's house to watch them, we did finish them, so we'll have to talk about those on a future episode.
Yeah. I'm
Is that a new code?
interested on how.
Go to a friend's house?
Is that a
No,
code?
I mean it literally.
Okay.
And if it was, maybe don't point it out online.
It's not a code anymore. We cracked it. We cracked the code.
Savannah canceled Netflix. Man, I'm trying to do the thing where if I need to switch to a new service, I want to get rid of a service. I don't need to be giving them all a bunch of money. I am still giving Netflix money. I don't know why. They keep canceling good shows. They're all doing that now. There's not really any point. Streaming is dead.
Yeah.
It's not, but it is.
Streaming is dead. It's the new thing, but it's dead.
Does Randy go to friends' houses? Yes, of course he does.
No, if you
Randy
if you
has
count-
friends.
If you count his mom and my mom as friends, sure.
Go and see your mom. So I go and see people's moms. It's weird. All right. Yeah. No. Whatever. Doctor Who's back. That's nice. Feels good to be talking about it. 2 of us are sick, and we're still like, we got to do it. We got to talk about Doctor
Yeah.
Who.
Yep. And that's why this conversation was probably all over the place because we were just like,
Yeah.
"Oh yeah, you know what I remember? I remember that."
Yeah.
Oh, we'll talk about Salty. We'll talk about Salty, and then like, not
You
really talk
yeah,
about
we'll
Salty
talk about
till
Salty. You know what I
45
really
minutes
like?
later.
Man, that looked really good.
I know we already talked about it, but let's talk about how they spent their budget.
They spent the money right. They did it the right way.
The
had-
opening intro.
Disney classy about it. They were Disney classy. It was like Pixar money in there.
It does feel
You got
dirty.
friend
though.
in me.
Feels a little dirty.
It does. No, go ahead and talk about the beginning because it was interesting, but I think it is a good idea, especially since they're on Disney Plus and a whole bunch of new market. Like this will be huge for Doctor Who, so they kind of needed
Yeah.
that little opening bit.
Yeah, I thought it was weird, but that was exactly it. I'm like, first off,
Yeah.
even for regular Who fans, they're touching on they're basically just jumping right back into a storyline from 15 years ago. So a refresher is good. And also, yeah, like you said, new market. Man, you were out of touch on the Doctor Who world, Savannah. Disney Plus has Doctor Who now. That's the new episodes, unless you're in the UK, are on Disney Plus. They
Yeah.
they slipped a little money. They don't own it, but there's definitely like whatever. They give them a big cash injection. So it looks good. Russell T Davies is the showrunner again. Yeah, I don't know what else to say.
David Tennant is the 10th Doctor. I mean, the 14th Doctor.
David
Who is
Tennant's
also the 10th
10th
Doctor.
Doctor.
Only difference is he's
But
old.
the 15th is coming, don't worry. They got to keep reminding, which is good. It's good of them to not kind of like, excuse me, kind of shaft his like reveal as the new Doctor by then like, new Doctor, here you go. Oh, but Tennant's going to be back for a while. Forget about that guy. They're good, at least in news stories and pub and press and stuff. They're pretty good about putting
And almost every trailer too. They make sure to plug him in somewhere into the trailer, so it's like, no, we're heading here, we're on our way.
Savannah's been
Okay.
obsessed with World War II doc. Savannah has turned into your dad or your grandpa. He's obsessed with
My
World
dad.
War II documentaries. What?
Nothing.
We're all stuffed up, can't hear things. We should go to bed.
We are. All right. Thanks everybody for watching and listening and what's happening.
No, just how abrupt we went.
I'll end this stream without notice.
I will turn that thing right around. I will.
Don't make me turn this stream
don't
around.
make me come back there. We'll turn it right around.
I'll go right back to the beginning. Well, I'll play the intro again. I'll play. How about you don't want to. Well, no, it's not Snyder Watch time.
I thought you were going to make us watch the whole thing. I was like, oh no.
No. Okay, I really do need to end the stream. We got to get now. We have viewers. Hi, viewers. We're done.
Hi.
See you guys
Yeah,
later.
No,
It's the Snyder Watch. That's what happened.
we quit doing Snyder Watch and everybody.
Zack Snyder became less relevant to us. I mean, I know he's still doing stuff, but all right. Goodbye.
We're so sick.